People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right. This week it's just Natalie and I. And this week is a special week, special occasion. I feel like we need party balloons, whistles, hats, cake. We got none of that.
Nope.
What is today, Natalie? What's today? What's this episode, Natalie?
Episode 200.
200 episodes will be in the books in 55 minutes. Speaking of which, what do you think? 200 episodes?
It's pretty good. Not bad.
When I asked you, hey, you want to start a podcast, did you think it would go where it's gone today?
I didn't think we were actually going to start a podcast until the very next day when you said, hey, sit down, let's record a podcast. And I was like, I thought you were going to look into it.
I did. We figured it out.
For 2 seconds.
What do you think, though? 200 episodes.
Great.
Guys, I want to thank everybody that's been along in this journey, that's reached out to us. Continue to do so. Follow us on that Facebook group for the podcast. If you want to contact me, wesisley@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the episodes. Let us know if there's people you want to get as guests on the episodes. I had a guy reach out to us, and he heard us talking about, man, I can't keep up with my schedule, trying to keep my public schedule and this schedule. And he runs a website at a church, and he's like, oh, man, this is all you have to do. You do this, this, this. He told us how to do it. We haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I have.
You did do it.
I'm slowly switching everything over.
But
if I book a show in a month, then I go to that month, and up until that date, it's switched over.
And then somehow I have to be able to get it to link to my computer.
Yeah, that's all you.
I don't know how to do that yet. But that was very sweet of him reaching out to us, helping us. You guys are awesome. We've had people reach out to us, telling us, I really like that episode. Wes, thank you so much for putting that one out. I love that part. I love getting feedback from you guys. So please keep it up. We love it. Because we could be in our magic room just talking to a void without you guys telling us anything. I see the numbers. I see the numbers increasing. YouTube views still are nothing. All of you guys are listening online. Even the guy that helped us with our computer. I said,
Go watch the video.
I said, do you ever watch it on YouTube? He said, no, it's a podcast. But I watch all my podcasts on YouTube. Pretty much, I watch 90% of my podcasts on YouTube. Even when I'm driving down the road, I have YouTube on and Waze on my phone. But
I guess
but I'm not watching. I'm listening. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. But remember, guys, we have the visual portion as well. So check that out. YouTube.com, Wes Iseli Magiclife. Episode 200. Think back who we've had. Do you remember me geeking out on magic? I'm trying to be better because I really felt like if you go back and listen to the Paul Gertner episode, I feel like I was overwhelming him with like love and admiration. Like he was like,
surprise me.
He was like, okay, thank you. All right, move on. Ask me a question or something, Wes.
Yeah.
No, but you were on Mr. Rogers. Yeah, okay, yeah. And you were on World's Greatest Magic. Yeah. And Johnny Carson. Yeah. Okay, but you're a legend.
He's like, do you have a question with that? Or
No, you guys are awesome.
Ramble through my job listing.
But I was teaching magic classes this week for the last 9 weeks before the summer. This was the last week of classes before the summer break. And Lana came with me because we did spy school. And last class, the spy class, we have a mission. I put fake bombs out. If they don't read the directions correctly, they could get a landmine. And then they had timeout for 3 minutes. And then the other team can. It's fun. It's fun. And while I'm in there, the second class was a magic class. And I was showing videos. And it was like a montage of magic videos that was on the screen. And I was hitting Lana. I said, that's Franz Harari. He's been on the podcast. That's Charlotte Pendragon. She's been on the podcast. That's Greg Wilson. He's been on the podcast. She's okay, Dad. Okay. Episode 200, guys. But we've had some episodes that even for us is hard to listen to back. We've had some audio issues.
Mm-hmm. We've gone through it all.
Oh, we've had power outages during the podcast. We had do you remember
phones die when they're on and then you have to sign back in, and it's all, it's all part of life. It all is what it is. It's none of it's perfect, and you just roll with the punches.
Do you remember Jeff Williams' episode? It's still on. You can still hear it, but as we're talking, just all of a sudden, like you hear his wife start talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? He's like, hello? That sounds like my wife. Her Wi-Fi kicked onto her Bluetooth kicked on or something. So we're like hearing her radio in her car and her talking to herself.
No, it was her. It was her on the phone with somebody, I do believe.
I don't know what it was, but it was like, it was crazy. He's like, oh, it was Wi-Fi. It was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've had some amazing things. And on our Patreon stuff, we've had some amazing things. The Fly Guy taking us behind the scenes, telling us a story about that little girl, and we all teared up on that one. I remember that. And Greg Wilson taking us around his museum for the Patreon people and seeing all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. We've had some episodes though where people have reached out to me in a podcast group that I run, and they're like, man, I love your podcast. Can I please be on? I'd like to promote my book. Okay. And you get them and you're like, okay, so what made you think of the idea? Well, the book's available in paperback and hardcover. Okay. But what made you think about writing a book? And it's 1995. It's like they wouldn't answer a question, or you try to ask them a question and they give you a yes or no answer.
Yeah, they want to talk about like what they do and what they but they don't want to go into details. Like, okay, you don't have to give away the whole book, but like, could you give a tip or two? But that's just
it's like pulling teeth. It's like pulling teeth. So we're trying to vet that a little better because boy, I can't go back and listen to those episodes because when I hear it in my head, I'm like, she wasn't helping at all. He wasn't helping at all. It was.
Yeah.
But we've made some amazing friends. We've made some amazing connections. We love it so much. Episode.
I thought we had started.
Well, kind of. Let's see.
You want to start by saying we're both exhausted. It's been a really, really, really long day.
I'm trying to fake it.
We're usually night people. And we had to get up at 5:15 in the morning and leave the house by 6:30.
We had a school show in Northern Virginia for the end of the year blowout bash.
Yeah.
And I have my iced coffee here. I'm trying to fake it like I have energy. I'm doing good, right? I'm faking it.
Okay. I just got yawns that I can't hold back. So I'm just letting you know why that is.
You need some iced coffee.
Ugh.
Let's see. Hey, I got some stuff to talk about. I got a whole list of notes here.
Oh, I know.
Number one, I'm gonna start at the bottom of the list here. Wes Iseli's Magiclife podcast. I think of Magiclife as one.
Backwards.
Well, I'm reading it, and if you're on YouTube, you can see me trying to read it correctly.
You're doing it backwards.
All right, sorry.
That's funny.
Anyway, Wes Iseli's Magiclife podcast. I think of the word Magiclife as one word. I know it's two, but for me, it rolls off the tongue. Magiclife. Wes Iseli's Magiclife. Anyway, you got people. I don't even know what Swifties. You got.
Oh no.
You got. What do they call them? What are the other group names? So all my fans, all of you guys that are reaching out, all of you guys that contact me weekly and really give me feedback and really give me love, I thought it'd be awesome to have like a Magiclife fan name.
Mm-hmm.
Because I shouldn't have told you. But it's it's Wes Iseli's Magiclife podcast. Wimps. Is that not good?
No, you're calling people wimps. It's not okay.
No, but it's
no, all the other ones are cute. Swifties and like little monsters or whatever the thing is for Lady Gaga and like.
I don't get little monsters.
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be a Swiftie.
They're cute. They're not calling them wimps. Like.
I was trying. You guys have a name.
You're a wimp for listening to us. No, what? No, I don't like it.
It could be empowering.
No,
I'm a wimp.
That is not empowering. That's not empowering.
Help me come up with a name, guys. Email me. Email Natalie. What is it? What's your email, Natalie?
Natalie A. Iseli at Gmail.
Natalie at gmail.com. Just a a groupie name. Wimps. We're back.
No.
It's episode 300, but not wimps.
I
Not
hate
wimp.
wimps.
Wimp is a good, but it
We're
is an
not-
acronym.
I don't care. We're not using wimps. Wimps is horrible.
I told you I got 4 hours sleep last night. I'm a little loopy.
You came up with this before today. Don't even.
tell them that. All right,
Don't
so
even.
that's the best I could do, guys.
No, it's horrible. Bad.
I-
Not good.
Help me. Help me. Help me help you. Help me. You don't want to be called a whip, but you like the podcast,
Nobody
so help
wants
us
to be
come
called
up
a
with a name. All right, so help us come up with a name. I'm asking for help. Help me come up with a name.
Do some magic things, like little magicians or
And little monsters. I don't get it. I wouldn't
Or-
want little magicians. We're little magicians. Are all my fans 4-year-olds? Absolutely not.
okay, I don't know, Wes. Magic peeps. I don't know. Come up with something.
Magic peeps. It'd be a copyright infringement. But can you imagine like little peeps with a magic wand in their hand?
Okay.
We're loopy. Anyway,
No, you're nuts. That's nothing new. 4 hours of sleep has nothing to do with what you just did.
I'm going to tell everybody a story. So one of my main things I tell everybody is I don't care what your job is. If you're a janitor, if you work fast food, I don't care what your job is. Love your job, enjoy your job. That's all I care about. I will respect you and honor you and do everything for you. When people call me on the phone and I can't understand them, it's awful. It stops my day. I'm really struggling pressing the phone to my ear. Usually I give the phone to Natalie. Natalie can sometimes understand them.
Sure.
But I get these, it's, I don't know, I don't want to sound racist because I'm not good with accents, but it's like an Indian accent and it's like, we would like to verify your Google something. And I'm like, yeah, right, Google's calling me. So
Right.
I hang up the phone.
I think it's a spam call or somebody trying to get information from you and you think it's a spam call.
We would like to verify your Google listing. Click. I don't have time. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I had a Google listing that said I was a business on Google. You type it up, whatever. When Google first came out, they were doing that for different businesses. Somehow I got it on there as they had my home address in my old house. And I was listed like a plumber, like I go out and do stuff. But I had a customer call me and say, hey, we have you down for a show in the end of the summer. And we were just verifying everything. And I was trying to Google you to call you. And Google says that your business is closed permanently. What? So my business listing said closed permanently in red ink. So I emailed Google and I'm like, hey, I need help with this. Something's wrong. And they're like, well, we tried to verify your business. Oh, that was for real? Okay, well, here I am. You can email me. You can call me. You have all my information. I guess they were calling.
Yeah, but who knew?
And anyway,
I mean, it didn't seem legit. I'm sorry. Like, we need to verify your Google listing.
and it's a heavy accent. It's not English. It's not. I know they use call centers. I know they use foreigners to do that. But you wouldn't think. Anyway, closed permanently. I worked on this for over a week.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 12 to 16 hours either on the phone, writing emails, waiting on responses. When you type them an email thing, you could see the clock ticking, and it would go for like 1 hour, and they'd respond by typing back, and then I could type to them. So I'm just
chat thing.
I was on a chat messenger board or whatever it was, and boy, I was sitting there hours and hours and hours, and they said, "Well, the only thing else we can do is verify your business. You can send us a video. You need to send us proof of your address, proof of like a work vehicle, proof of your tools that you use for your job, and proof of you accessing that vehicle." So Natalie films me and I'm frustrated. This has been 16 hours on the phone for a week and a half. And I take the phone up to them, and you can only film for like, what do they say, 60 seconds?
Something.
They had a limit on that as well. So I'm like, all right, this is my magic room. This is tools I use for my job. It's magic.
He was very sarcastic.
Oh, I was mad. And then I go out to my RV. I say, look, it's got my name on it. Look, here's my driver's license. That's my name. Here's my business card. That's my name. Look, it's got a picture of my face on my business card. Yes, Here's my magic van. It's got my name on it. Here's my RV that I take to shows, but my trailer has my name on it. Here's my keys, opening the lock. This is my tools for my job. Is that enough? And they're like, no, it wasn't. You need to verify your address. So you need to walk next to your mailbox with the number on the mailbox, and I need to see a street sign to prove that. I can't do that in 60 seconds. Our driveway is 100 yards, a football field long at least.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 football fields to the end of the road where the street sign is. I can't get all that in the video. And they were like, well, you need to figure that out. And it's got to be one video. It can't be chopped up, so you can't edit it. And also, we need to, Natalie's like, I can give you tax papers to prove that it's our job. We don't want tax documents.
Why not? That proves that we have a business. We're paying taxes on the business.
Here's my EIN number. I mean, I can give you that. That's my tax identification number for my business. No, we don't want that. We want your Better Business Bureau information. That's a thing you have to sign up for. You have to pay like a yearly service fee or something like that.
We don't part of that.
We don't need that.
No.
What magician is part of the Better Business Bureau? I don't know of any. Maybe there are. I don't know. I'm not a part of that. And they were like, well, we can't help you then. How did I set this up 20 years ago with Google if I didn't have that stuff then? How? And it was radio silence for like 2 days. And I was like, oh, crap, do I have to call a lawyer? Because every time I Google my name, in big red letters beside my website that pops up first, to the side of it, it says Wes Iseli and Party Magic closed permanently. Man, that doesn't look good. So I'm like, do I need to call a lawyer? What do I need to do, Natalie? And I just sat on it, and then all of a sudden, poof, that whole thing disappeared over there. And I'm like,
great.
That's great. I didn't need that anyway. I didn't ask for that. I thought they asked me to put that in there.
Right.
Back in like, what, 2000?
I have no idea.
Before you. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Boy, that was frustrating. Holy guacamole, that was frustrating. Was I getting a little mad?
Yeah, just a bit. And I have to wonder if the extreme sarcasm on the video had anything to do with them saying no.
Well, after 16 hours, it put me through a ringer.
I know.
And talking and chatting and talking and chatting. No.
They don't care.
No.
Right, exactly.
I got like that red face emojis here. I was mad. So episode 200. Let's change the subject here. I got more notes.
Let's do happiness.
This is happy.
Okay.
Think about this. Are you ready?
Waiting.
200 episodes into our podcast.
Okay.
We have a television show in syndication across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Television show, it's out there. We're working on a cartoon that we'll talk about later. We got some cool stuff coming up with that. And we're doing shows. We're doing lots of shows.
Yeah.
We're doing big shows.
Yeah.
We're doing full evening illusion shows, standing ovations. Things are great.
Okay.
We have a beautiful family.
Okay.
Beautiful home.
Uh-huh.
Hiking trails. RV.
What are you getting at?
16 years of marriage to me.
Uh-huh.
What would high school Natalie say about where you are today?
She'd be shocked. She'd be shocked. She would never have imagined marrying a magician and being an entertainer for a job. Like, nope. I always saw myself, what I imagined when I was in high school, in college, thinking about after I graduated. I didn't imagine, I figured I'd get married eventually, but I wasn't worried about it. And I figured I'd graduate, get a job doing whatever. And, I guess I just always assumed I'd be single long enough that I would buy my own little cute little house. Like I had it pictured like this 1-story little cute little brick house, and I get a dog, and I would, go for walks or runs in the mornings before I left for work with my dog, and then go to work and have my cute little house to come home to and my cute little yard.
Well, we first got married. We lived in a tiny little house
No, I
with our dog.
a little bit better.
It's all I had, honey. It's all I
Hey,
had.
you know, well,
Golly.
you put lipstick on that pig. It's good. But what I'm saying is,
My parents bought that house.
yeah, it had a lot of work that needed to be done.
My parents
Anyway.
bought that house in 77.
Anyway, I'm trying to answer your question.
I gotta
Quit
talk about the
interrupting.
house now.
The house was fine. It was a fine house. That's not the type of house I was picturing. I was picturing something different in my head. Anyway, and I wasn't picturing it in a little neighborhood. I was picturing it more country living. Because you know me, I don't want neighbors right next to me. So anyway, I'm that antisocial. That's what I pictured. So I never imagined that I would meet the guy I was going to marry while I was in college and get married a couple years after graduating college and become an entertainer and book shows, and that would be my job. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I like that I don't have to leave the house and go to work. I like that I can do my schedule how I want to do my schedule. But that's not what I thought would happen.
But the answer is your high school Natalie would be shocked.
She'd be shocked. Yeah. Because it's not anything like what I imagined.
But
I imagined that I would be going and getting a 9 to 5 and something that I liked, and that I would be,
so if you had
be on my own for a while.
if you had a time machine, you could tell Natalie something from high school. What would you say?
I have no idea because I wouldn't want to ruin it.
You tell her it'd be okay. You tell her, dude, you're gonna meet the. Don't be afraid of short guys. Would you?
I tell her everything's gonna turn out all right. Don't worry about it. Because you know me, I like to worry. I don't like to worry. I just do worry. So
I think it's a girl thing.
maybe.
I think it's a girl thing.
Well, girls, you're the caretakers. So you want everybody taken care of. So you worry. Are we gonna have this for this and this for that person and that for that person? Are we gonna be able to get this? Are we gonna be able to do that?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So.
I saw your underwear the other day, and I
We
know
all
that
make
you,
sacrifices.
I know that you take care of the kids way better than you do yourself. What was that? Do you want to tell everybody?
You're so mean. One pair of underwear. Okay, there's a couple pairs of underwear. That's the worst pair. So that is my worst pair.
We were going to date night, and I walked in the bedroom. We have this big walk-in closet, and I look over at Natalie. She's in a bra, and these underwear have holes on the side of them. It almost looks like a thong on the side because there's holes in the side of it. And I'm like, Natalie, if I have a tiny hole in my underwear, I throw them away. There's no underwear left in those, honey.
Yes, it did its job.
I was like, honey, I approved the purchase. Get yourself some underwear, would you?
I probably will, because there's a couple of pairs that are ending up to, they're heading in that direction.
I feel guilty when I throw mine away. Like, I have to tell you, Natalie, I have a hole in these, and I throw them away.
Yeah, that's fine.
But why do I tell you that? I don't just throw them away. I just like, Natalie, these have a hole in them.
Yeah.
I throw them away.
I throw away socks. My toes poke through them, but I don't know. It's
but
underwear.
The babies. But your babies.
Nobody's gonna see it. It's doing its basic job. It's just the sides are all messed up. It's
You wouldn't do that for Lana though. If Lana had holes in it, you wouldn't do that. Talk about a caretaker. You wouldn't let Lana have underwear like that.
No. I tell her to throw them away. It's ridiculous.
See? When I walked in, I said, throw them away. That's ridiculous.
They're in my dirty clothes pile right now.
Dirty clothes. They need to be in the trash.
They need to get washed.
Anyway, I need to talk about my old house because that's a whole other subject.
Your old house was fine.
But I need to tell everybody why you put lipstick on the pig.
It didn't have central air heat. We had window units and baseboard. It was an older house. The basement flooded. We had to put in a sump pump. It needed a new kitchen door before we could move because the darn thing stuck and wouldn't lock. And nobody's going to buy a house that the door doesn't lock. I mean, it just had little.
My parents.
And then, we had to paint the whole house. We had to. It's an older house.
My parents moved in 1977. We camped in the front yard. I was a baby. I've just heard stories that we lived in a camper in the front yard where the house was being built. And that was like, my parents loved that house, right? And it was only 1,400 square foot. And I think
Yeah,
at
it was small.
one time we had like 9 people in that house.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And it's a great little starter house. The other problem was
You will.
look at all of this magic
Well,
and think about we have big illusions that we have to store somewhere. And so that just shrunk the house. For years, we had illusions in our bedroom packed up. We had illusions in the kitchen packed up. We had illusions packed from floor to ceiling in the basement, where you literally had to walk sideways between these illusions. And this was the main part of the basement. It's supposed to be open and wide, right? You had to walk sideways to get through the illusions and the washer and dryer. And I mean, the basement was finished. It wasn't professionally done, which was another, when you're selling a house, that's a ticky mark against you. You know, it's not, it was fine. It was fine. It served its purpose. You could completely, I mean, our office was down there. We would do movie nights down there. The other thing was we thought somebody told him that the chimney, you can't use it. There was a fireplace upstairs and a fireplace downstairs. And he was told that if you try and use it, smoke is just going to come in the house. And so we never used it. It was another thing to store stuff in. And then you put a nice little painted fence is what we did in the living room in front of all the crap that was inside so nobody could see it. It was a nice little storage spot. We just outgrew the house with our business.
what was in the chimney?
Junk we didn't use.
I don't remember anything in the
Games
chimney.
and yeah, upstairs.
I don't remember anything in the chimney.
Yeah, well, not like up the chimney, just in
Yeah.
the fireplace.
I don't remember that.
But then, so you get somebody to come out and look at the chimney before you sell the house to say whatever, and he's like, "Oh, it's in perfectly good working order." I'm like, "Are you serious? I could have been having fires this whole time."
But we didn't have the acreage that, I mean, where would I get lumber from?
Oh, you figure it out.
I'd have to go buy wood.
You could have chopped down some trees
Anyway,
back there.
the worst thing about that house, the worst thing, the reason the door was crooked, the reason the basement flooded, the reason all that happened. My parents moved in 1977. In like 81, 83, something like that, Luckstone Quarry moved in. Like,
right behind us.
literally, they bought the lot behind us and like a mile down the road. All of that was their property.
Like eventually they could come up right to the edge of our property.
And
They
they were blasting dynamite and shaking the house.
It's like an earthquake every single day. A couple times a day.
And whenever you complain to them, they'll send out inspectors to our neighborhood. Just, oh no, our blast, you can't feel our blasts. I'm not a scientist, but I think this is shady. They would put their seismograph meters or whatever on sandbags. They wouldn't put it on the asphalt in the subdivision.
Right. And it was a couple sandbags. You see them out there.
What is it? The cul-de-sac. The cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
They wouldn't put it on the asphalt in the cul-de-sac. They'd put their tripod on sandbags. Wouldn't that absorb a lot of the impact?
I would think so.
I would think so too. But our foundation had cracks in it. We had cracks down our walls. We had to reinforce our walls in our basement.
Yeah.
Our next door neighbor, when we moved, their house got condemned, but it was like condemned by law. They're allowed to live in there, but technically their house is condemned.
Yeah, I don't get it, but yeah. Apparently they're gonna have to do some work before they move.
Anyway, somehow, some way. But that's not the worst. We had the rock quarry. That's why our basement flooded, because it was on a hill and the water just seeped through the walls.
Foundation now, yeah.
Right? We laminate the floor. We'd paint the floor with the concrete paint and all that stuff to help block it out and seal it out. Didn't help. Water would come around the house and in the basement door and come in the house, flood that way too. We put a drain pipe there to stop that, but it still went over that because it was so forceful. But the worst part, while my dad's dying, I'm like 25 years old. I never moved away from home. I went away from home to do a job September, October for like 6 years. But other than that, I stayed at home taking care of my dad at nighttime. And then when dad died, mom moved away. I bought the house for my mom. So that's all I'd ever known. And when dad's dying, so I'm 24, 25, they sent a thing in the mail that they want you to go to the courthouse and vote on, they're putting a sewage treatment plant behind the high school across in front of our house. They were like, who wants that? No kid wants to go out for recess and smell poop in the backyard. But it was owned by the government, the local Greene County government owned that field. And they were like, we don't have to buy property for it. We can just put it behind the high school, put it behind the middle school. And then we have, and we were like, yeah, we don't want that. And the whole neighborhood came out. We don't want that. And all the people from the school, yeah, we don't want our kids smelling poop while they're playing soccer at recess. That's disgusting. Put it somewhere else if you got to put it in town. Well, they put it in anyway. They didn't care how many people showed up to vote. They didn't care. It wasn't a vote. The board decided. Whatever. The problem was they put that in for the future because they were planning on building apartment complexes and things like that in Greene County, our old county that we lived in. The poop plant they put in was so massive that you needed like
more than what they had in order to be
100,000 people hooked up to that
working.
thing. So they couldn't treat it properly because you have to put so much chemicals in to treat it. They're also supposed to put up a berm, like a mountain, so the wind keeps it in a bowl, the smell in a bowl. They didn't do the berm, so at nighttime they stirred the poop, and when the wind blew, it wafted down in our neighborhood.
Every night you smelled it.
And we would come home from shows, and Lana was 2, 3 years old, and she said, "Daddy, you fought?" No, honey, welcome home.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like.
Home crap home.
And that's
Like
what it
on
was
that
like.
movie.
That's what it was like at like 9 o'clock at night.
It was horrible.
So,
It was awful.
boy, it sounds like that's a bad place, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Compared to here?
we sold it. Compared to here, it's not great.
Oh my
We
gosh.
love it here.
Oh my gosh.
We love it here.
But I had a lot of my neighbor friends were like family to me, so that was really hard. I mean, it was a really tight-knit neighborhood. I grew up with them and they were like family, so leaving that was really difficult and tough.
Lana had a hard time leaving it too, because that's all she ever known.
Right.
You know, and now even here, she's like, I still miss our old house. I'm like, really? You've lived more than half your life at this house at this point.
Has she? No, she's 12. No. She's lived longer.
She just turned she okay, half her life.
Yeah. Almost
Okay,
half.
half her life here. You moved when she was 6. She's 12.
Oh.
Her first birthday here was her 7th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a good little house. It had lots of happy memories, but I like here better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. We weren't supposed to get on and talk about.
No, but
Oh,
you say that old house was awful. It was. Now that we delved into it, sounds
Right.
pretty rough, doesn't it?
We both agreed when we moved and it sold. We were like, woohoo! We put lipstick on a pig and it sold. Like,
But my thing was, I didn't want to let the house go. My dad had just died. It was my dad's house. I didn't want to. I felt like if I bailed on the house, which I had an opportunity just to walk away from it, not buy it from mom, let them figure it out and sell it for dirt. That, I'm walking away from this thing that my mom and dad put so much money and time and effort into. And
she would
that was hard.
mind if you, yeah.
But I didn't know anything else. And I wasn't expecting to have mom move away. I was expecting to take care of my mom now that my dad had died.
Yeah. Right. Well,
I didn't expect any of that. Anyway, so high school Natalie would be proud of you. High school Natalie would be shocked.
Yeah.
What about being a mother, being 40 years old and looking that hot? Would she be shocked?
Yeah, because when you're in high school and you're thinking about a 40-year-old, you're thinking about, man, that's old. But you get there and it's like, it's not that old.
Yeah.
I don't feel old. So
You feel tired today, though.
yeah, well, I only got 4 hours of sleep. And
So yeah. High school me would be shocked. I remember talking to Derek Lawson, and he knew no magic, but he wanted me to take him along in my career. And he's like, we could be Penn and Teller. You do the work, and I'll just sit there and smile. That's what he was saying. So I've loved Penn and Teller since I was in high school, becoming friends with them. I mean, to tell my high school friend that, I'm going to renew my vows, my high school friend, my high school me, that I'm going to renew my vows, and Penn and Teller is going to give my wife away.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Natalie.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember in high school buying a new magic trick, coming home, trying to learn it, and then taking the directions, putting it in a shoebox and hiding it. And I had a drop ceiling in my magic room, and I would hide it in the drop ceiling so nobody knew the secret to the trick.
That's cute.
And then that shoebox, I never did find it when we moved.
Are you serious?
I tore that whole drop ceiling apart because I'm sure there's cool stuff hidden as well. There's some stuff I couldn't find at that house. Yeah.
It's not like it just got walked away.
Somebody stole my secrets.
Oh, fool.
No, I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I was hiding stuff there too.
Threw legs and walked away.
We did Smoke and Mirrors Theater in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
It was fun.
No, it was awesome. I reached out to them. There's this show called the Greenmount Restaurant. They reached out to us and said, hey, would you come do our show? Yeah, it's 3 hours, 4 hours away. Yeah, we'll do it. And they're like, well, while you're here, maybe you can do a lecture. Some people do Smoke and Mirrors while you're in town, and that's not too far away from us. After I booked his show, he's like, give them a call. Maybe they'll book you. And I called them, and they were like, well, send us your information. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, well, these people know me. These people know me. I got verified. And then they let me in. And I don't know. It wasn't like they reached out to me. I reached out to them. So I felt like I was behind the 8 ball, like I had to prove myself. So we did the first show.
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go?
Great. So the first show is for families. So there's kids and adults there. And it's in the afternoon. And it went really, really well.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a really cool room, how it's tiered like the Magic Castle.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it's very intimate. It's only like 60 seats or something along those lines. Somewhere around that.
The owners are Danny Archer and Marty Martin. I couldn't remember Marty's last name. And he said, yeah, I have 2 first names. That's why you couldn't remember it. Martin. Yeah, Marty Martin.
Yeah. And then the second show was at 7 in the evening, and it was for all adults. And that went great.
I did. We don't know what happened because I'll say it. They were like, all right, so that was a great show, Wes. Your family show was great. What are you doing tonight? I was like, more of the same.
Yeah. We're doing the same thing, but we're adding more because it was a longer show for the adults. It's like an hour and a half.
And they were like, but that was your family show. This is adults only. I'm like, yeah. And they were like, well, you wouldn't do the coloring book for adults.
We didn't do the coloring book for the kids either.
No, I sell the coloring book. That's the only reason I do it in my shows. But I've seen a magician do a coloring book at a nightclub. And he was making fun of that person for being drunk. What do you see? I see black and white images. You guys see black and white, right? Right? What do you see? Well, the clown's got a red nose and purple hair. He sees a red nose and purple hair. Oh, he's had a lot of alcohol. They make it funny. You can make anything funny and play big.
Yeah.
So anyway, they really got in my head. I don't know.
They psyched you out, and I don't know why. Because you've done plenty of shows for all adults before, and it's gone over very, very well.
But our friend that got us in there and got us the job, Natalie's like, maybe he told them Wes does a great family show, and I guess he'll do okay for the nighttime show.
Because he hasn't seen you perform for just adults.
Right. And then I guess I scared him because I was like, more of the same. Because I was playing to the kids. When you're playing to kids and playing to adults, it's different.
Right.
But it's still playing. You're still having fun with magic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did the show, and they wanted a 90-minute show with no illusions.
Well, you can't really fit any in there.
Right.
You'd
have to wheel everything off the stage. You have to clear the stage completely, which we couldn't do, and fast, unless we had a crew of people doing it.
Right.
But it was awesome. It was great. It ended in a standing ovation.
Yep.
And I was like, what was I worried about? I don't know what I was worried about, but they got in my head. But they got in my head. Before the show started, I'm like, Natalie, I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want. it's working for magicians, working for a magic audience, and just the way they said stuff, it just, I don't know.
I wasn't worried.
We do corporate shows all the time.
Right.
We do that lawyer banquet for international lawyers all over the world. There's no kids in that room.
Right.
It's awesome. They keep hiring us, but they got in my head. I don't know, but I just did my job. I just had fun. Standing ovation. As we're taking our bow for the standing ovation, I look over and nobody's taking pictures. We left the kids at home, so Lana wasn't taking pictures. And I'm like, Natalie, they're standing. She's like, yeah, honey. Natalie, videotape, take pictures, do something. They're applauding. Keep it going, people. Keep it going. Natalie, take a picture. We got a picture. But that was awesome. They were so good to us.
You were acting like you've never gotten a standing ovation before in your life.
No,
Crazy.
Another magician friend of mine had worked there the week before. And as he was getting a standing ovation, there was one guy in the front row. He reached out and held his hand and went to shake his hand and literally pulled him up to a standing position. And I'm like, that's something Penn Jillette would do. And this guy's big like Penn. And that's something like Penn would do that, I would think. Yeah. And it was like, I don't know. It was like, I've been getting one. I'm not pulling anybody up. Natalie, videotape this. But it was awesome. And we get there. We left the kids at home. We made a last minute decision.
Yeah, we weren't sure if there was going to be anywhere for them because it is a small venue, and we weren't sure as far as parking if we could leave them in the RV and extend the RV. Turned out it was a small venue. There was nowhere for them to go inside, and where we parked, we couldn't have extended the RV, so they would have been stuck in the RV for over 24 hours, smooshed. So it was better that they stayed home. They had more room to stretch their legs, and yeah.
Anyway, we left the house like 2:30 in the afternoon. Did we stop for dinner?
Friday. We picked up cauliflower crisp pizza.
So we did stop for dinner because we had to wait for the pizza to be made, and we ate in the car.
In the RV, yeah.
And then we drove and got there about 11 o'clock at night. By the time we had gas, fuel ups, and everything. And I felt like I was parked in the middle of the parking lot. Like, I know my show's on Saturday, but it's an industrial area. I don't know if these other businesses are going to be coming in on Saturday or they're closed on Saturdays at this industrial area. I feel like I'm in the way. And then Natalie is calling the kids just to tell them good night. And I hear boom, 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 boom. I said, Natalie, I think I hear gunshots. And she says, what? Hold on, Lana. She opens her door and it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, we got to go. Tell Lana good night. We got to go. We got the heck out of there. We punch in our navigation to a local Walmart. We go to Walmart to park overnight. And security, before we even find a parking spot, he's following us in the parking lot. He pulls up to us and says, you can't park here. Tractor trailer drivers used to park here, and they would pee in bottles and throw the bottles in the yard. And they would throw their trash out, and they messed it up for everybody. You can't park here. I'm like, look, dude, I'm a magician. I'm with my wife. We tried to park at the theater that I'm working at tomorrow. I heard gunshots. I just want to be safe overnight. I don't know this area. Where do I go? He said, follow me. He took us behind Walmart to like across the road behind Walmart was a distribution center for something, a tractor trailer center for something. They would load up merchandise. It wasn't a Walmart distribution center, but it was something.
Yeah.
And he said, cops come by here all night long. And I'll do a figure 8 through the parking lot and come back here and check on you guys too.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you.
He was like, as long as you park over this side, out of the way, they won't care. They don't care that people park and sleep here. Great. Awesome. Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. So we park. I put the stuff in the windows, lock everything up, lock the RV up, and we brush our teeth, get ready for bed. As soon as I lay my head down the pillow, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, Natalie, I hear gunshots here. And she says, Wes, I don't know what else to do. We can't run all night long. We got to go to bed. We got to do this. Nobody's going to bother us in an RV.
Yeah, nobody's going to shoot up an RV. And it's miles and miles away. I mean, like, you could tell it was far away. It wasn't close. It's not like it was right next door.
I was scared still. Anyway, we sleep overnight. 6 in the morning, the RV, the truck center starts up. You hear the tractor trailer and then parking around us and doing stuff. And we're like, all right. So we drive back to Walmart. Now Walmart's open. Security's gone. There was overnight security. We parked at Walmart until like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
From like 6 to 10. And then we went to go to the place. Well, I tell you all that to tell you, after our standing ovation, after everything happened, and we're celebrating and we're talking on the way home and saying, Natalie, it was great, man. They really got in my head. I don't know what happened. I've never had anybody get in my head like that before. It made me think of the episode where the guy said, you better do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
It was like threatening almost. But they didn't like threaten me, but they were like, really? You're going to do the same thing for the adults as you did for the kids? But I'm playing to kids. I'm not playing to adults.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we're celebrating, driving down the road, we see fireworks going off in the sky.
I said, look at that. You were afraid of fireworks last night, Wes. I don't know if it was fireworks, gunshots. Who knows?
But I Googled gunshots near me when I heard them the first time at the theater. And they were like, yeah, in Pennsylvania, there's been 796 homicides.
We were right outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, 796 homicides in 2024 up until like May 9th. And I was like, oh, Natalie, it had to be gunshots. Oh, no, Natalie. But I might have been worried about nothing. It might have been fireworks. I don't know.
Who
I can't
knows?
prove it. I can't prove it.
Either way, we made it out fine. All was good.
We made it out fine, and I'm driving home, and I'm smiling ear to ear, standing ovation, just thinking about how much fun I had with Danny and Marty and checking out the venue. And it was a magic weekend. It was a lot of fun hanging out with magicians. I wanted to work that place. It was awesome. And then I said, Natalie, it was a beautiful night. It's not raining. The sky is clear. This is great. Pow!
No, it was very loud. It scared me. I do believe I went, ee!
Our right passenger side inner tire
On the back.
popped in the back of the car. So it was like near the bathroom.
Yeah.
I immediately pull over on the interstate. Now we're just north of Baltimore.
On 95, on the side of 95.
We pay extra to have Good Sam cover that'll pick us up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, take care of us. They've never really taken care of us fast. They just don't.
No.
And so we call Good Sam, and they're like, hey, are you safe? Are you this? Are you that?
Right.
What do you need? Well, we need a tire. You don't have a spare.
No, we don't have a spare. We need somebody to bring us a tire and change your tire. Because we don't know how to change the back inner tire.
I don't know how to do the
So-
inner tire. I can change a tire, but I don't know if my jack is big enough to lift up the RV.
It's not. Even if we had a spare tire, we'd still need somebody to come out and change it for us. We don't have a jack big enough. But anyway, so they call around and they try and find somebody, and they call us back and like, yeah, so all the overnight people, no one has the right size tire. You're just gonna have to call back in the morning. We're like, we're stuck on the side of 95. He's like, you want us to tow you? Well, where would you tow us? The closest, safest place. Okay, that's great. Let's do that. We are an RV and we are pulling a trailer. Oh, nobody's gonna tow that. Okay, so we just stay on the side of the road until when do we call back? He's like, start calling back around 7, so then we can start calling places at 8 when they start opening. Okie dokie. So I mean, this was around midnight, and so we were stuck on the side of the road all night long.
I
And you
slept
can't
in the
sleep.
front of the RV because I was waiting for the cops or roadside service to come knocking on our doors at any time, and I didn't want to be in the back of the RV sleeping when they did that.
Couldn't sleep though.
She went in the back and tried to lay down.
There's no sleeping.
Every time a tractor trailer would drive by our lane, if they're in the middle lane or the other lane, you'd feel it. But if they were in the closest lane to us, which was 5 feet away,
Right.
the whole RV would shake. Like it felt like the wheels were coming. I mean, it was using
Yeah.
the suspension. I mean,
We were on flat ground too, but when it came by, it felt like you were not on flat ground and you were gonna flip. It was a couple of them were quite a little scary. So there was just no sleeping.
so like at 2 a.m, we both curled up in a ball in blankets and tried to sleep. And tractor trailer would go by, and you'd wake up. It was like water torture, and try to get it. It was like water torture.
Yeah, it was awful.
So
you
we
would
just
doze, but there was no real sleep.
we just got up. We had that big screen TV up front,
5 o'clock in the morning, we gave up.
and we just watched movies.
Yep.
We held each other and watched movies, and it didn't feel as bad when you're awake and the whole thing went like that. You were like, oh, that's what it was. Yep, that's what I mean, you could just, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as scary though.
It still wasn't fun.
No.
But anyway, so then we start calling the place at 7 in the morning, and the guy that we get this time, he's like, why did they tell you that?
They told you they didn't have tires last night?
I'm like, yeah, they said call back in the morning when places open up because none of the overnight people had tires the right size. He's like, oh my, they just didn't want to work. That's ridiculous. There's an all-night like service area that is the place that came out to us. They have tires. Like they sell tires.
We were 7 miles away from an all-night service area.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? The other thing that happened, the tire thing.
But they came out. Well, you think about that. They came out. It was about 9 in the morning. So we were back on the road around 10 in the morning. So it was almost, what is that? 10 hours. Yeah, 10 hours of sitting on the side of 95 to get a tire changed. And that day, that Sunday, when we finally got back on the road, was Mother's Day. We were supposed to go home, and what we told the kids was we're going to come home. We'll get home around 2 in the morning or whatever it ended up being. And we're just going to park the RV, and we're just going to sleep in the RV so that we don't come in and wake up
the dog,
the dog or the boys. And then when they wake up, we can sleep in a little bit longer, because we were going to get up and we were going to go meet my mom in Lynchburg for Mother's Day. And so we ended up just calling it all off. We didn't get home until 1 in the afternoon. Is that right? 12?
No, I think it was 1.
12 or 1, something like that. And I was just like, can we reschedule for next week, like a week from today, because we don't have shows on that Sunday. We can do that Sunday. So luckily they're flexible. They're totally fine with it. I was totally fine with it. The girls were totally fine with watching the boys so that we could sleep, and we slept until dinner time.
Yeah.
Because that first night we got there, neither one of us slept very well because
gunshots.
Right. And then that second night, neither one of us slept except for dozing. So we didn't really sleep. And so we slept hard. But anyway, that was my Mother's Day.
Yeah, I was
scheduled, so it's okay.
I was worried we weren't going to get a tire at all because it was Mother's Day.
Right.
Is anybody going to be open on number 1 on a Sunday and number 2 on Mother's Day?
Right.
Are we going to be stuck on the side of the road for 36 hours, 48 hours? That was stressful.
That would have been horrible. The only good news was we had a bathroom and
we had food.
We had food. We would end up eating the kids' cookies if we had to stay until Monday.
Junk food.
But luckily, we didn't have to break into their junk food.
We packed our own food.
Yeah, we had enough to last us. But yeah, thank goodness we didn't have to wait that long. I think I would have cried at that point.
But it's stressful, man. I mean, you're thinking, I don't even know where I broke down at. Did I break down on a turn? Did I break down on a straight stretch?
It was a stretch.
When roadside service came out to me eventually, I said, I haven't got out to look behind me. Am I on a straight stretch? Can people see me? Because I was just waiting for somebody just to.
Right. That was that, and I was very thankful at that point when we were stuck on 795, kids were home. I was very, very glad, because that would have been even more stressful. Because, okay.
Well, they wouldn't have slept. They'd have been miserable.
Oh, yeah. They were miserable. But then I would have been even more worried about somebody hitting us because my kids are in the car with us. Just make it a bigger deal. But all turned out okay. We got our tire. We were safe. We got home. We rescheduled Mother's Day, and it was all fine. Thank goodness.
And we have like 8 minutes. I have a bunch more stuff to tell you. We did this. Well, we got home. I had to teach classes on that Monday. Tuesday, we went to that Greenmount restaurant.
And that was in Maryland. But luckily, that was an evening show, and it was like 3 hours away. So we didn't have to leave I think we left to give ourselves extra time. I think we left at like 2
Yeah.
ish in the afternoon. So that was nice. At least we didn't have to get up at the butt crack of dawn like we did today.
We Google Earthed it, and it looked like they had a big parking lot. We were
Yeah.
like, well, we're good. We can take the RV. Everything's great. We
Yeah.
got there, and he saved us a spot that wouldn't fit my van and trailer, much less my RV and trailer.
Yeah.
So we
tried.
We parked. Yeah, we
Give
parked
him
at
that.
like a daycare next door
Yeah.
that it was closed. It was after hours of the daycare, and just carried our equipment up over the hill. I mean, it was a 4-foot hill.
Yeah. So
It
we just
wasn't
put our
difficult.
dolly on top of the hill and we just took our stuff and
Yeah.
loaded the dolly and then
And
loaded in.
once again, several magicians in the audience. This show probably had 30 people.
Yeah, again, small venue,
Yeah,
but great audience.
it was great. They were awesome.
Yeah.
The guy that ran it also performed, and then there was 2 other magicians that performed on the bill before I got on there. And then once again, boy, they really pumped me up. I mean, how crazy! I mean, it was like the
sweet.
Penn and Teller thing. Like,
It was a very sweet, nice introduction.
this guy's
awesome.
a fooler. This guy is amazing.
And he actually agreed to come here. He's actually like, I don't know.
We've never had a full-time real magician bring his RV and trailer and take up the whole parking lot.
This is show business.
Yeah, I mean, they just wow. Thanks. Yeah,
it was a really,
you get me. You get me.
It was a really nice introduction, and it was a really awesome show and a really great audience. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they gave us dinner afterwards. They fed our whole family.
6 people. Yeah, he was like, we'll take care of dinner. I was like, oh, that's so sweet of you. I was like, you don't have to do that. There's 6 of us. Like
we don't expect that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. It's 6 of us. So really, that is so sweet of you. You don't have to do that. He's like, no, I insist. I was like, okay, but there's 6 of us. Like, I want to make sure you heard me. There's 6.
Right,
and I'm like, I mean, I know the boys are only 3, but they're eating their own kids' meals fully at this point. So, but no, they took care of us. That was, he got 6 of us dinner. He
gave us
insisted.
the menu before the show started. Order it now. 2 big bags of food before we left. We had sodas in the car.
Right.
And we all just picnicked in the car and then drove home.
Yeah. It was a late night again, but
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Lana had prom.
Yes, she did. That was the very next day. So we had gone, I had met my mom the week before and I had taken the kids and we went dress shopping while we were meeting with my mom. So my mom went dress shopping with us for Lana's dress, and Lana picked out a really pretty blue dress that had sparkles on it. She's like, I get mermaid vibes from this dress. So it was really, really sweet. She looked really, really pretty, if I do say so myself. But yeah, she got to go to prom, and it's just
it was homeschool prom
and an after party. Yeah, homeschool prom. So she was the youngest that was allowed to go, 12 through seniors. But even so, I've just, my baby's able to go to dances now. It's just weird.
I took her out to dinner. We had daddy-daughter time. She went to classes with me that day, and then I stayed in the RV while she was at the dance, and then I stayed in the RV while she was at the after party. I was still trying to catch up on sleep from Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyway, it was good. And Willow and I stayed home with the boys. We watched a couple scary movies over the next few days. It was fun. We had a good time.
The cartoon, we had a meeting with our animator, producer, director. And what did he say this time? He's got a couple leads?
Yeah, he's got a couple leads. He's going to see who he needs to talk to. He wants to get to talking to the right people at the right places. And then we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. But it's just a slow process with everything that's had happened.
It was something like Nickelodeon fired like 300 people, and
people are
Paramount got rid of like 600,
and the writing strike put things off for a while, and then people downsizing. Just nobody was accepting pitches, and now things are looking like they're slowly gonna start back, but we're just waiting for the right opportunity. So yeah, I mean, we will get there when we get there, and we've got a really good cartoon. So I have faith that, you know,
Well, he's in the
Something's
business
gonna
and he's
happen.
excited about it. He's like, look, I love it.
His higher ups love it. He's like, they've turned me down like point blank, no, this sucks. And they love it. I'm like,
Yeah.
You got something good.
Yeah.
So I have faith that something's gonna happen. I just know it.
So I
Hopefully
said,
I'm not proven wrong.
so I have a meeting with him once a month. I said, can I just check in with you once a month just to keep the ball going? Just because I've never done this before. And yeah. I said, well, in the meantime, what can I do? And he gave me some art to check out. Where do you want the show to look like? What do you want it to look like? And he gave us stuff like almost like South Park. I said, no, I don't like that animation. Then he gave us Archer.
There are a couple of things that I liked. I liked the more realistic-ish people and like the darker kind of tones. But that's all I want to say. I don't want to
Yeah.
much.
But we have an idea, some mix of some stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Also, the boys are really starting to talk a lot more.
They are.
Trampoline came out the other day, and I was like, wow, that is a trampoline. That's 3 syllables. that's a big word. And
But yeah, they go through their books and they name every single animal correctly, and they're very into dinosaurs. And like they're coming out with phrases now. You know, we got home today. Both of them were sleeping hard when we pulled in the driveway.
we got them up at 5 this morning. We did a show, and then they got in the car in 4 hours, 3 hours home.
Yeah, and so they were both sleeping hard when we pulled in the driveway. And Lex was the first one to come to the door, and I'm giving him my hand to help him out, and he just, where are we? It's like,
Home, son.
I said, we're home, buddy. Oh, okay. And he runs in the house. It's just, I thought that was adorable. Where are we?
I can't imagine. I don't know where I'm at half the time in my life because we're on the road all the time.
Yeah,
So imagine what their little brains are thinking.
I know. We go everywhere.
Are we going to
There's
see
always
Granny
something
today?
different.
Are we going to see a show today?
Are we going to church?
They sat in the back of the audience today at the show.
They
They're
did.
3.5. This is the first time they've sat in the room.
Yeah, normally you gotta, I mean, even if we've tried it before, it's like, nope, get them out, out, too loud, too loud, too loud. Today they did great. I mean, Willow ended up taking them out at the end, and I just saw her walking them outside. I never heard.
I did.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't.
They
hear
were starting
anything.
to they were fighting with her.
Oh, okay.
Like she was trying to get him to come close, and he started really, no.
Oh,
Ow.
yeah. Okay.
So
well,
good.
she did right.
Yeah.
So and that was at the very end of the show. So they made it. I think it was the last trick they went out for.
Yeah. So I've been
That's
working.
great.
We've been working that show for at least 16 years.
Oh, before that, we worked there a couple years before we got married. Because I remember the year that we got married, they always book around our anniversary. So it was right before our wedding. It was probably the week of our wedding. It wouldn't surprise me, like the Tuesday before we got married. And I told Wes, I said, I am not touching the bunny. He was like, why? I don't want accidentally something happen. It would be my luck. I get scratched. I don't want scratches all over my arms from a wedding. So I didn't. I'm not
For her
touching it.
hand picture in the wedding,
Yeah,
and she didn't want to
I
scratch
don't
on her
want
hand.
scratches all over me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that.
But that lady gave
But
us
we
a
had
card or a gift card or flowers every year when we went there.
Yeah, but that was the first lady.
Yeah, she retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had been working there for a couple of years before we got married.
Yeah. Anyway, they've seen the kids grow up, and it was. So I told the audience, and I said, we've been working here more than 16 years. I said, we're going to try this today. We got the kids in the back of the room. If you guys hear a peep, you let me know.
You know what I think happened? I think they would have been fine and made it through the whole show, but you did the trick where the card ended up in the back of the room and you went to the back of the room. And Julian really wanted to talk to you, but you were doing your thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you went back up and you didn't say anything to him, which is fine. You were in the middle of the show, but he didn't get it. I think that's because then they had to go out and then you did the last trick of the show.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's what did it.
I used to do a trick where the card was signed and it vanished and reappeared in the back of the room in 13 boxes deep. and the people dug down and found the card. And it was a cardboard box, and it's hard to replace that cardboard box. And Lana really wants me to bring it back in the show, and I might bring it back.
It's a good trick.
But I'm doing one now that the card is, they give me a random word, and the card vanishes and reappears in the back of the room. And now I just turn around. That's the card.
With
But
the
there's no-
random word.
But there's no digging down. It's just there in the back of the room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm playing with it. I'm trying different ideas. I was thinking about the card ending up in a box, just a nest of boxes, and then showing my hand empty, picking it up and showing it to people without switching it or anything. There it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's needed. I don't know if just sitting there on the wall is too easy. I don't know. Still
Well,
playing with it.
you
It's
didn't
new.
lose an Oz
It's
from
new.
what you did today, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, the reason I was talking about the boys and the reason I started all that is they have words for Willow and Lana.
Oh yes.
Usually it's hey, mirror, hey, mirror. Now, mom, dad, they had,
I got that.
but they didn't have a name for Lana or Willow.
Sometimes they call him Dad
They did,
because they couldn't pronounce their names.
but recently, I'm talking about the past 3 weeks.
Yep.
They finally, and they both agreed on it because they both say the same thing. What do they call Lana?
They call Lana Mina. Why they call her Mina, I don't know. It is
She
nowhere
answers
near
to
Lana.
it. She
Yep.
answers to it.
She's like, I'm right here. What you need? And I'm like, Lana. You say Lana.
Yeah,
They're like,
Mina.
Mina. I'll get there eventually. And then Willow has come around even more recent because Willow is a hard name. And they say Weo. Weo.
Is it Weyo? That's how I think of it.
Yeah,
Weyo.
I think so. Weo. Yeah, Weo. Yep. So it's really cute. You'll hear them in the back of the RV because Lana and Willow will sit at the table most of the time. And if somebody and they're cross in their car seats, and if somebody drops something, you hear, Weo, Weo,
Because they have earbuds in playing on their phone.
Weo. It's adorable. I love their little name for her.
And
And that's close. Weo, Willow. They're just not getting the L's in the middle.
yeah, and Lana, Mina.
Yeah, that's completely different. I don't know what that's about.
But
I guess it's the L.
driving home from the show today, Natalie says, "Look at them," and they both had that little bag of chips,
Yeah,
and they both had their hand, and they're watching Scooby Doo, and they're just, it was very adorable.
they are loving their RV life, just eating their chips and
And
watching
they
their movie.
point to the food pantry.
Yeah,
Weo,
wow. They know right where she gets the food. Right
Weo.
there.
Anyway,
It's very cute.
episode 200 is in the books.
Yeah,
We went over a little bit tonight, but we had a lot to catch you guys up on. We've been busy.
we didn't even talk about our anniversary. That's okay. We don't have time.
Let's add it to it.
We don't have time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Go ahead. We don't have time limits anymore. Go ahead. What did we do on our anniversary, Natalie?
Well, we just decided we were going to just have fun. So we went out and we saw the Ghostbusters movie. We had to look hard to find a theater that still had it playing. Who would think? I didn't know it had been out that long. But it's a good movie. I liked it.
It was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
I liked it.
I from what I saw, we're trying to detox. We were eating bad recently and eating
I had to
drinking.
drink good food.
Well, something, I had salt in my system or something because I peed 5 times during the movie. Was it 5 times?
Not during the movie.
Once before, once after, and 3 in it.
Okay, there's a 3 in it, not 5 in it.
That was awful.
Yeah. Anyway, we liked the movie. Moving on.
When
We
I
went
got to
out-
get up to go pee during the movie, like an old man, 3 times, it's $30 for us to go to the movies. $10 for a soda. We just got a diet soda. $10.
Maybe we shouldn't have gotten soda. Then we wouldn't have to go pee as many times.
I don't know. I was still.
Anyway. Then after that, we went to dinner. And we went to Sedona Tap House. It was yummy, yummy steak. And then we were throwing around the idea of axe throwing or top golf. And we decided we'd go to top golf. So we went and did some golfing. And then when we were done with the main golfing, we went mini golfing.
Mini golfing was not fun there.
No, I didn't really enjoy the.
They didn't have any
course.
rails. So if
Yeah.
you hit, I mean, it just always went off the hill. That's
Yeah.
it.
There was no their little hills where it should have gone up and curved. It just went up and into the bushes. And you're like, well, Dang. So, I don't know. It was okay. I won.
I don't think we kept score correctly.
We sure did.
No, I'm saying maybe we shouldn't have said 5 and out. Maybe we should have said like 13, 15, 20. I don't know, because it's like a real golf course. There's no bumpers. I don't know.
Par 3, each of them.
Was it?
Yeah, they all had 3s on them.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was horrible. It was
well,
not fun. It was not easy.
You know what? It was fun because I was with the man that I love. So it's all good.
I get it.
Anyway, it was a fun. I liked it. It was a fun date night, and we were talking about what we want to do, and we both did want to go see Ghostbusters. But I was like, I would like to do something beyond a movie and
Dinner and a movie.
Yeah, I want to do something else. I want to, together, and so it was fun. It's fun little
16 years married officially.
Yeah, officially.
Because we renewed our vows prior to us being 16 years married.
Oh.
Everybody thought that was like the anniversary of us getting married.
No, that was just a great opportunity to renew our vows and have Penn and Teller give me away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just when we were there. It's not like we could go back right now and do it on our actual anniversary. So now we have 3 dates that we can celebrate. The anniversary of our first date on October 20th. The actual anniversary of our wedding on May 17th. And the anniversary of renewing our vows on March 24th.
So March 24th, we have to go to Vegas, and we'll take Penn and Teller out to dinner next year, and they can help us.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll take them to dinner, and they'll help us celebrate.
Okay.
We'll all go top golfing together. All 4 of us. We have 4 of them. I'm sure Penn will love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is episode 200. Guys, thank you. Like I said, please keep emailing us. If you have something better than wimps, because Natalie won't let me use wimps.
I will not let you use wimps.
Let us know. Give me some ideas, please, please, please. I'd like to do something. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Thank you guys for being on this journey. Like I said, keep in touch. Email Natalie. Email myself. Let us know what you enjoy. If you have an idea for upcoming guests, let us know. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Just keep in touch. Let us know you're listening. We love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Only thing we have left to say is
see you next week.
Check us out online at wesiseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Iseli for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.